The last session of questions and answers. After these three very good presentations, we can see from educational projects to very high-end engineering with the tallest bamboo building in the world, like right now with laminated bamboo, and a spectacular presentation also from Mauricio about the design with bamboo, with round balls, with laminated bamboos in Italy, in China, and in Colombia. So thank you guys for those magnificent presentations, and I think the public here enjoy a lot. So I will start with questions. So the first question is from Carlos Canando. He is asking, are there any current tests of research conducted on laminated bamboo or on round pole bamboo with regards to fire protection? Maybe I will give this person the chance.
Well, thank you for the question. I think that the fire protection is a very important issue. The round bamboo, I am not too sure. But for fire testing, there has been some, we did some testing a long time ago, but it's very limited. We just discovered, we just published papers. We have some testing for the I think it's endurance testing and also kind of some material testing too. And there's also some testing for still, I think the fire protection, is one regulation. So I need a lot of research.
I think also Professor David here from Coventry has conducted some tests also about fire, and Professor Juan Correa dos Andes from University also about round.
Yes, another one is the Matthew from
Mateo, yeah, in Australia.
At the University of Queensland, in Australia, he got a PhD.
Okay.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Basically, also with the escape strategies, we have managed with escaping strategies to get the codes not 100% accepted, but because there's like 30-minute resistant, not 60-minute resistant, 90-minute. With bamboo, achieving the lowest 30-minute resistant is very difficult unless you apply chemicals, but it's the good thing about it is natural. So we have done escaping strategies that people can escape in less than 10 minutes. One of the reasons the bamboo eye is an open space is also for escaping reasons. The exhibition in Milan, the expo, all the bamboo is inside of a water ponds. They're all water ponds. So, and there's sprinklers. We use water sprinklers. So that's another way of tackling it, but it's not resolving the 30-minute resistance.
So for that, seven-story building, we do have a tank on top. We do have a pipe for fire extinguisher for sprinklers, but just not adding yet. And the pump is in there.
Thank you very much for that. So I have a question here for Tori from UB. Based on your observations, what would be the best technique for treating the bamboo? Boiling, cold process using boric and borax, using hermetic solutions? What is your opinion about that?
I think it really depends on your situation. We promote bamboo treatment with boric acid because it's pretty accessible, it's easy to accomplish. It can be done in different methods as well. But again, I think it really depends on your situation. If you're in a place with lots of regulations, it usually means you have a much higher access to technical skills too, which means that maybe more complicated treatment methods are not possible. And then if you're in a place with less technical capacity, I think boric acid is a pretty good option, just also because it's relatively safe and accessible for human beings too. So it's very bad for insects if they eat it, but if you're a human and you don't have protective gear relatively safe. It is an endocrine disruptor, so it's not like you don't want to bathe in it, you don't want to eat it, you don't want to be breathing it in all day. But it's relatively safe and relatively reliable and simple as long as you do it properly. So that would be my opinion. I know there's so many other options. I mean, permethrin is a big one that's widely available, but then there's also, you know, if you start to get into more technical solutions, there's different, potential oil impregnations, and I'm sure, there's other people in the room that know much more about this, but I'm really excited when we get rid of the boric acid and the borax and move into either heat or, acetylation or perforylation, and those things are exciting, but again, require more technical knowledge and ability.
I think that's a very, very interesting topic. All the methods that was mentioned here, all of them work very well. But as already said, depends what you need. If you need to produce a volume, if you have access to fuel. I mean, there's many variables that can affect that. I have a question here to Mauricio, and this is from Cyril Fernandez, and say, how do we get more architects to fall in love with bamboo?
I think it's and the answer could be something similar, but Professor Dominica said that she fell in love with bamboo. She just did a little research, then she wanted to go more. It's curiosity, it's just starting. I think to fall in love with bamboo is just starting, and then you can go back to concrete or steel, because the bamboo is just amazing. And it's so difficult to understand that it will keep you always doing research. It's not that you learn how to build with bamboo. It's a continuous process, because there's so many species, so many different forests and contexts and situations, right? So I think to fall in love with bamboo is just to start.
To start somewhere. Okay, I have here an interesting question from Orin to Professor Jan Shao. So, in theory, Professor Jan Shao, how high can we go with a timber bamboo laminate method?
Timber?
Combination.
Actually, I did not mention too much. After about 20 years of research on laminated bamboo, our newer research direction is actually towards timber and bamboo composite structure. For one reason is because laminated bamboo, the price is still too expensive. Secondly, in China, the timber producers are all working from Canada, US, and Europe. It's actually not that expensive, but laminated bamboo is still too expensive. But meanwhile, the Chinese fast-growing species of timber has been available, and we're trying to buy those too for the future. And my background is steel and concrete composite structure, concrete field tube. So putting two things together, you always get 1 + 1 larger than 2. So that's my belief. Secondly, in terms of how tall, I believe anything, whatever timber building can go, bamboo building can go, and the composite timber and bamboo can work. So I hope once the Japanese finish the 350 skyscrapers, create synergy using bamboo or concrete. That's my hope, the wish. Hopefully within my lifetime.
We also hope that. So
together with the
let's go again. So we have here 3 questions from Edward Glenn Stina from BMCI project developers. So because I think some questions are for Mauricio and the others are for you. So the first one for Mauricio. What is the typical recommended roofing material used for bamboo structures, aside of palm or grass or thatch? What is recommended?
Well, I think green roofs are really interesting for bamboo construction. And it offers the weight, it offers the acoustic and thermal insulation. So I really had a good experience in the bamboo with this type. But I think it depends on the project. If it's housing or if it's office building, or if it depends on the if it's social housing or other type of housing. It depends, right? But I think it's like any other material. The roof can be made of very different type of materials. It can go from palms to glass. You see, I use glass roofs also, and the house, the opaque roof, is made of black tiles, because in China the black tiles are very common. So I used black tiles. The difference is that the black tiles were flat instead of curvy. But and it also has the roof intern for bamboo structures, and maybe engineers can correct me, but it needs a certain weight. So I think that the roof also, if it's heavy, a little bit heavy, is better to keep the structure.
Yeah, for wind, yes. For airways, not that much. Thank you, Mom. So for Orin, I have this question. Say, have you worked in any projects in the Philippines involving a structure similar to the ones you presented?
Yeah, so we just, so Bamboo Pier just finished one project in the Philippines. It's actually here with us. So it's called it's by City Homes. It's the Kawayan Eco Farm. So we had the privilege to work with them to do both the bridge and a beautiful pavilion as part of one of the housing developments. That Rosie's in the room, so you can go talk to her if you want to know more.
Thank you. So this is about bamboo splitting. It's from S. Is bamboo splitting a significant failure mode in bolt connections in laminated bamboo? If not, what are the most common modes of failure? I think this is for you, Professor Shan. Splitting and laminated bamboo is an issue, or is not an issue?
It is. Actually, we use two types of laminations. One is we call it thinner layer lamination, which is very similar to plywood, but we call it bamboo. But those things are made by bidirectional layers. That kind of bamboo is relatively cheaper, used to be made in China for because at a certain stage China is short of plywood for concrete formwork, wood one, but then change that into plain bamboo. But nowadays that's mainly used as a car flooring, bus flooring, or the carpenters for the flooring for containers. But the price is not cheap. But the otherwise we call the thick layer laminated bamboo, which is the more regular speed, very accurate conditions. That's more expensive. But that kind is typically single directional fiber. So that one, once it's wrapped, just compact the whole thing. So the Chinese word actually has one thing, something just like broken timber. Means if you cut broken, if you cut from not it can speak quickly. So that's just, but with a two-dimensional model, it's actually much better. So this is like two-dimensional laminate model. So that's actually, I think the practical delay are prevented. Then the next issue will be only just like embeddment, just like embeddment, local function. That answers the question.
Thank you, Professor. I have here a very tricky one. We know that bamboo tapers from its base to its top. How do we connect the taper part to the next pole to achieve the 30 plus meters speed? Like connecting two bamboos from the taper side, the small side, with a new bamboo with the big side. So I think that's an interesting topic. I will take the initiative here. we normally use conventional connections, and we connect bamboos that are similar in diameter between them. So normally don't connect the small part with the big part of the other one. I never saw that. If you have been working with that,
Yeah, the trick is actually we don't, it's a bit of a, usually with our bamboo, the spans aren't so big, but we can. We have one from this way, the other one from this way, and they're both joining the small ends. And then you do the next one, so you do bundles, right? So because we have to, because of the cracking in these bamboos around, and these are irregular, we plan for redundancy, so we usually have more poles. So we do bundles, and the way we connect them is to ensure that sometimes they're actually, the tip and the tip are actually joining for one strand, and then the other one is internal. And the other way to do it is you just get maybe 3 or 4 meters in length only, and it's relatively homogeneous, so the taper isn't so much the matter. So it really depends. But I've done both. Usually it's also for design, right? If you have a tapering, it looks really beautiful. Some people like that. It might not be the best engineering option.
Could be. So I have a last question. There's a question from again. So I want to ask the three of you, how you see the future bamboo construction in the coming years, and have you seen a change in the last 10 years in the bamboo world and the bamboo construction? So there is hope for us to see a scaling of bamboo construction. Professor Yacha.
With the trend, I think there's I used to count how many papers, journal papers, published. Of course, for forestry or biology, there's no paper that's much high-end. But just for structure uses, I used to count how many papers per year in SCI indexed journal papers. I see great books. This guy exponentially grows. I think that from an academic point of view, just more people interested in this. I think this is the first step. Knowledge people and understand research, the creative innovation will come out in the future. So, that's good.
I think definitely we're closing as ever. We're closest as ever to the exponential growth starts to happen, because now they're closed worldwide. Now there are more people interested. You see how today, how many people are here, and how Philippines is just, and also now Philippines is one of the epicenters of bamboo engineering architecture. It's not just, and Bali has been for years, and Colombia has been for years, and in Europe there's the Bamboo Expo. You were lately, and I was there too some years ago. So there's a Bamboo Expo in Europe. Who was going to think about that, right? So I think it's just about to happen. It's just about, my feeling is it's just about to happen. I don't know raw bamboo, but for laminated bamboo for sure. Raw bamboo will still have to struggle, but it will happen anyways. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people in this room right now. 10 years ago, I don't know if anybody can hear me here. There's so many people in this room today. In the Philippines, 10 years ago, this wouldn't have been like this. So the interest is growing, the knowledge is growing, the examples are growing. You know, I think Neil Thomas, who is the engineer for the Ark that I showed, it says it best. He said, when I first started telling people I was working on bamboo projects, and he's a big engineer, he does the Olympics, figures out how to make the Olympic rings open for some big event. And he said, when I first told people, they're laughing at me. Now they're not laughing anymore. Now they're taking it seriously. So I think, and even in Bali, like, people don't realize this sometimes. Now we have thousands of buildings at Bamboo in Bali. Not a lot of them not from us, right? Just people inspired by what they saw us do. And thousands of buildings. When we started, people were like, "Oh, that's dangerous. If you're going to build a school out of bamboo and put children in the classrooms," and and it's not safe, and it's not known, and it's not engineered, and blah, 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 blah. Now nobody's afraid anymore. So I think that we're, again, right on that tipping point. And I mean here too, you know, when we started Bamboo, he was like, yeah, but what about low-income housing? And I was like, I don't know. Now I go, oh yeah, no, it's happening. You know, Louis is doing it in the Philippines, and in Nepal, and here, and here, and here, and all you have to do is email, and they'll tell you how to do it. So it's I just see so much, all the pain. I mean, the dark side of Bamboo is that it's extremely painful to build a bamboo building in the current environment. As a pioneer in the bamboo industry, all the people who have already done something in bamboo, you know the stress and the uncertainty and the fear and the sleepless nights. That work is paying off. People are taking notice, and the industry is moving forward. And it's moving forward in so many different ways, which is really beautiful to see, from round pole creative bamboo construction to round pole, low-income bamboo construction to very highly, technical high-rises. 10 years ago, someone said, yeah, we're gonna make skyscrapers out of bamboo. I would have thought, yeah, right. It's happening. So we just have to keep going.
So thank you guys for that positive answer. I think, yes, a lot of things have been changed in the last 20, 25 years, and I think the path is clear, and we're going to advance and get more countries with regulations and more people having the possibility to live in a bamboo house. I want to say thank you to all of you for this magnificent day, and I want a round of applause for our guests. And with that, we
Just stay
yeah,
on stage.
we stay.